Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today we're going back in time and we are doing a classic review. And what we're going to be looking at is the G.I. Joe O-Ring Snake Eyes from, well, 1982. But I also have the swivel arm figure here too, so the 1.5 version. Now this is a new series that I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to be reviewing some of my older figures, just seeing how they move, but really looking at the detail. Now I've mentioned this many times when I've been doing reviews that I never noticed some of the details that they actually put into these O-ring figures. And right now it's a little bit of a lull, but I figure, hey, why not go ahead, take a look at some of these, look at them. I have so many of them. I have the majority of the first wave and the second wave, third wave, fourth wave. I got a long ways to go. But anyway, I want to take a look at this, do a classic review, just kind of show off a couple of the things. I don't have all the difference between the straight arms and the swivel arm, but we'll start off with this one, and I can kind of show you at least the things that I notice and that I spot. So you can kind of go back if you do have these, and maybe you'll take a second and just go back and look at the detail. Or maybe it's just been that long since you've had one and you wonder, hey, what is the detail on it? Was this stuff, did they have this on it? Did they have that on it? Is it like the classified? You can go back and watch my classified reviews. I tried to show that off as much as possible. But anyway, this is a new series that I'm going to be doing, and I'll probably be dropping 1 or 2 videos a week just because I think they're going to go pretty quick, especially this first wave because so many of the figures are just repaints. But let's get into this because no one really wants to wait and look at me. But I did want to give an explanation of what it is that I'm doing. But before we do, please take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop one of these. Now let's get to it. Alright, so I got both the figures here, and let's quickly take a look at the weapon. So, as we all know, he comes with this Uzi, and this was one of the most famous weapons. Again, this became tied iconically to Snake Eyes, and all because of this, and you can clearly see that it is a little worn. But it does have the extended magazine. This one has a longer barrel, and there are 2 versions of this. Later on, the version 2 has a more stubby barrel here. So watch out for that if you were ever to buy version 1. You don't want to grab that one. But the detail on it looks pretty nice. It's got your little spotter or whatever you want to call it for just aiming. And again, a cool little weapon. Steeler also comes with. And then he has this explosives charge here, which I never knew what this was as a kid. Now when you look at it, it makes way more sense. And you can see that these are all these little C4 explosives. I think they're C4. I could be wrong, and if I am, I do apologize. But anyway, it says little satchel here. Not a satchel. It's a little... I always thought it was a satchel, but it is this explosives pack here. So, again, it can kind of wrap around them, but then it's just so stiff that it's not going to stay. Luckily, his hand is tight enough. I can just have him hold it, and I don't even have to worry about it falling off. And again, it is, hollow, but again, we're kids, we had imagination. All right, so let's quickly take a look at this figure. And he uses the same buck as a lot of the other figures. And this one will be harder to see just because he's just all molded in black. Not black paint, he's actually a black plastic figure. So quickly looking at him, you get what was the classic Commando look. And I know a lot of people really like this one. They like it more than version 2, the Ninja Snake Eyes. And I always thought he looked like he had one of those hockey masks on, a Jason mask. He's got these goggles that you never really noticed they were goggles, but when you look here, it definitely looks like it kind of protrudes like it's supposed to go around. All right. And even right there in the back, it looks like that's kind of where it runs through. I never noticed anything like this. All right. He's got the pineapple grenade, which I think we all noticed, and he has the sheathed knife. But look at the nice little pouches there. Something that most of us never really realized. And it even has the little lip here. So this goes underneath it. So technically his web gear wasn't going to move around. It's on both sides. Here you have his belt. All right. Kind of wraps around. It's got the nice little loop too, which I think is great. And the one thing that I never knew, that is H for Hasbro. So I didn't know that till I got older, read books, and they talked about that right there. He's got some pouches right here on his shoulders. And again, this is the straight arm. And even right here, you can see the cuffs. All right, so clearly this is supposed to be an open hand, and these are cuffed, like cuffed sleeves. Another pouch right up there. And then when you get down to his legs, you have two nice little pouches right there. And on this side, I don't think I ever really noticed, but it looks like it's some sort of explosive maybe. Maybe some sort of tool. It's hard to tell exactly what that is. If you know what it is, please let me know in the comments. But when you look at this here, again, nice detail. And then he has his little stirrups. I always laugh because that's how they felt, like they were little stirrups here. And even with the ring around his boots. Now, it doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. I'm not sure what that is, but maybe it is for something in general that is supposed to be real. They really did go with a lot of realism with this. Now, as for the swivel arm figure, the arms are completely different. Now, it was a game changer when they changed this, and thank God they did. All right, but here on the belt, as you can see, it's no longer the H. It's now the Hasbro little house, and it sits in front of an H. Now, I never realized that it had two different belts. The crotch is also much thicker on the original, but everything else is very similar or the same looking. Now, you cannot swap the arms. All right, I'm just going to let you know this, and I made this mistake with a bazooka, that the arms in these here are just like this rectangular right angle here, where these ones are actually angled just a little bit, so it changes it. And you can see here on the swivel arm figure, his pouches are right in the front on the bicep rather than on the side. And even looking at his cuffs here, his cuffs are way more prevalent. Look at the legs, they're they're almost the exact same. They probably are the same. But the molding is all pretty close. And again, this is a wonderful looking figure. You can see the rivets here were actually, they're either painted, which I don't know why the new one seems so weirdly painted. All right, but you got the same thing over on here. So an all black figure that was just cost-cutting measures, and they wanted to get a figure with a balaclava. Didn't really want to explain too much about them, and that's exactly what they did. This O-ring one, this is not my original. Actually, neither one of these are my original. I'm sorry, this swivel arm battle grip. He just has very loose legs, so you better believe I do use a stand. I've often mentioned you have to use a stand for some of these figures. When you get to the 3.75 or 4-inch figures, it is understandable because they have much smaller feet, especially without that much maneuverability. But anyway, there is a nice, quick, classic review of Snake Eyes. Again, I know a lot of people, they really never had them, or maybe they forgot. It's been so long since they've seen these figures and they just want to get a better look at them. But I've noticed so many details when it comes to G.I. Joe that I just kind of want to point some stuff out. Look at the rivets. I never noticed there. Like, the rivets are completely different. These rivets are different due to, I'm assuming, how the swivel arm actually sat in there. All right. And someone actually painted that silver. He does not come with silver there. So anyway, that is Snake Eyes right there. Nice and easy. All right, so there you go. That is a classic review of the O-ring Snake Eyes, both the swivel arm and the straight arm figure. I'm not gonna lie, for me, I don't like the straight arm figures, although this one is in much better condition than my swivel arm. I don't like them. They're problematic is the best way to put it. And the swivel arm was, I mean, you think G.I. Joe was a game changer when it came to comparing them to Star Wars, or I mean, even like those Chips figures, Dukes of Hazzard figures. There was something better about these than the swivel arm. It just changed everything. But anyway, there you go. That is the classic review of the O-Ring Snake Eyes version 1. But I'm going to get out of here. Thank you very much. Please take a second. If you like this, if you're going to enjoy this series, take a second. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a video. And up here, what I am going to do is I'm going to leave you with a video. I'm not going to say what it is because I don't have another O-Ring one yet. And down here will be the playlist of all the classic reviews that I've done. Take care.